What's up, boys and girls? Welcome back to the channel. It's Sunday, and we're having a little Sunday fun day today. Kind of like it was back last year, end of last year. I miss those times. A lot of those videos that I was doing back in, November, October time frame, it was just, hanging out with the boys. We haven't really been doing a whole lot of that lately. For a couple of months now, man. It's like everybody's kind of off doing their own thing all the time. I don't like it. I mean, we had my big birthday weekend last weekend, but still, it's different because it felt like for a while, everybody was getting together like every weekend. We had like a whole Tampa crew of people doing shit, And I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss that. Man, I missed being on Triumph. I swear it's been 2 weeks. The Goldwing is the only motorcycle suited for a trip like going up to Jacksonville and Georgia like we did last weekend. It's also the only motorcycle that I have that has adequate storage for things when I need to ride it for work or whatever. It's also the only motorcycle with 2 seats, so when the wife wants to ride. So Triumph typically loses out when it comes to, hey, what motorcycle are we taking today? It's only because of utility. That doesn't mean I like the Triumph less. You guys know how I feel about this motorcycle. Man, this thing is slick. Slick. Hey, if you guys aren't already, I got a lot of people that are watching my videos on a regular basis that aren't subscribers. Hit that subscribe button down below. It's free. It doesn't cost a damn thing. Hit it. Also, if you're following me on Instagram, you've noticed that I've started incorporating a lot more music into my posts. Like the theme of my Instagram has kind of switched to not just motorcycles, but motorcycles, beer drinking, really bad memes, and music. And I kind of want to talk about that a little bit today, or over the course of this video, kind of take you along on some things. If you watched the video that I had out a couple weeks ago about being on YouTube, now 1 year again, and, effects on mental health, whatever, which was a very small part of it. I mentioned how there are some things that have always been a part of my life, always. Those things are motorcycles to a degree, video games to a degree, sometimes too much, and music. The problem with my music is that, and I may have mentioned this in the video, actually it's my problem with everything that I conquer. Let's say master level is here, right? And the beginner level is down here. I know it's a very short range, but it's just what I'm using. My problem with any hobby that I get into is I get to about top level here. I get to about right here, and then it starts to become hard, and I either quit or I just don't progress any further. And that's it's laziness. I mean, really. I mean, you can call it a bunch of different things, but ultimately it's lazy. Like, I don't want to put in the work on something that I know that I could be really good at if I just kept pushing. Guitar, ukulele, banjo, even, all those things are the same. Working on motorcycles. Hell, even video gaming, man. I was really good at what I played. And, I would rank pretty well on things. But I could have ranked higher if I had just put in a little more effort to become better at that. So I go through those peaks and valleys in music where, I'll get a new guitar. I've had the same Alvarez acoustic guitar since like 1990. My dad had it, in the very early 80s. It's a 1980 model Alvarez 5064. I think they were like $250 to $300 back when they were brand new in 1980, 81. And, that guitar went all over the world with me, literally. I was fortunate enough in the Marine Corps. I was a helicopter air crewman, and I had my own helicopter assigned to me. It's a pretty big plane, the CH-53E. And I had a crew seat, a stretcher, if you will, strapped to the wall, bulkhead, whatever. And that's where I kept my guitar for all of deployment. And at night, we'd play like in the back of the helicopter or down in the hangar bay, or we'd pull into port, if I got a gig or something at a local bar or whatever, which was always fun because I can say, hey, I've played in Portugal and Sicily and Turkey and Israel. I've played all these places at bars and whatnot out of town. That's really nice to be able to say as somebody who's not a professional musician, And I get back to the Marines, and out of the Marines, I don't really pursue it, and I kind of got involved in, being excited about being out of the Marines and doing everything else. You know how that goes. A few years go by, I got out in 2000. Back in 97, let me come back a little bit. Back in 1997, I bought a brand new Fender American Standard Stratocaster, which in 1997, that was about $800. I had to put it on layaway, and it took me about 6 months to pay it off, but I finally got that on layaway, and I loved that guitar, man. I loved it. But in 2003, after being out of the Marine Corps a couple of years, you know, me and the old lady were on tight time, I sold it. I sold it for like $400 because my stupid ass, I didn't realize that guitars like that appreciated, not depreciated. I put it on eBay for $400 and it sold in, gosh, less than 5 minutes, I think. It's wild. I couldn't believe it. I think that was my first indication. When it sold that quickly, I was like, whoops. Like, I realized I fucked up, you know. I didn't have another guitar until 2006. And I bought a relatively cheap Ibanez. I paid to have it, you know, professionally set up. And I had fun on that guitar to do with it because, again, I stopped playing. I actually switched to bass for a while. And then my son, my oldest son, who is today 25 years old, he said, oh, I want to take guitar lessons. I'm like, oh, sweet. I got this Ibanez. I got it set up again for him to make sure it's good to go. Paid for some lessons here, like practice. And again, I sold that guitar not too long ago, maybe a year or two ago. And a couple of months ago is when I started having those thoughts again about how, man, you're just kind of wasting your time, dude. You're not really doing anything. You're having fun on your motorcycles, you're making video content, you're doing this and that, but what are you doing productive? So when I'm not working on my motorcycle or riding or traveling on motorcycles, like if I have downtime and the family, if I'm not hanging out with the family, I was playing video games, which has always been a part of my life, like I said. But then I don't know, I just started thinking, man, like what? I don't have anything. This isn't one of those come to Jesus moments where I realize how inherently bad video games are. They're not. They're great. But I thought, man, look at all these things I've done in my life where I didn't get very far because I just stopped. So I broke out the old Alvarez, you know, once again, the old Alvarez that I've had for years, started playing it, and I thought, man, I haven't had a new guitar ever in my life. And, a new acoustic guitar. So I bought that Martin SC13E Special. Oh, man, that thing plays like a dream compared to the Alvarez. I had the Alvarez turned into a slide guitar. Took it up to Guitar Center, paid for a setup on that. Had the... I know you guys sometimes are going to be like, oh, the Guitar Center's a big box store. It sucks. I mean, it's what I have. I trust them. It's good. And one of my patrons and friend in the Discord here on the channel, Phillzilla, actually sent me some slides, and I've been playing on those slides for a little bit. And I like that quite a bit. Then the itch hit me again. Mike, get an electric guitar. I didn't want a Stratocaster this time. I think back when I bought my Stratocaster, I knew that's what I wanted because it's what my dad always wanted. And he had like... back then, Mexican-made Strats weren't that good. These days, they're really good. And I knew I wanted an American Standard Stratocaster. I was like, oh, my dad's, one day I'm going to have an American Standard Stratocaster. So to me, it was like, oh, this is what my dad always wanted. I got it. But I think I realized after having one what that guitar was meant for, and it's not the kind of music I was playing. It was a little bit different. So this time, after about 3 weeks of watching YouTube videos and reviews, I settled on my Epiphone, brand new Epiphone Les Paul Custom 50s model. And it just came yesterday, and I've only been playing it. I played it last night for about 3 hours, and this morning for about 30 minutes I had to edit video. Again, I keep saying the word set up. I'm taking it to get set up tomorrow. I should be without it for another 3 or 4 days, but it is what it is. Now, before you guys get it in your head that I'm just dropping money left and right, or that I'm made out of money, I'm not. First of all, I bought the Martin on a couple years worth of payments, and the Les Paul. Let's put it in perspective, right? A Gibson Les Paul is at minimum like $2,000, $2,500, and the Epiphone I bought was $649. I didn't pay $649. Back in 2013, I decided I was going to get into banjo, and I really did get into banjo for about a year and a half, and I got really fortunate. Somebody sold me a Recording King RKR 35 for $400. This is a $1,000 banjo even back then. It's a least expensive, good, decent banjo with a tone ring that you can really find out there. Highly regarded as a great banjo for $1,000. I paid $400 for it, 2013. So I knew I wanted this Les Paul, and I'm like, man, how am I going to afford this right now? I didn't want to put that on my, Guitar Center credit card again. I'm like, no, I don't want to keep racking up that balance. So I took the banjo in. I said, what will you guys give me for this? So they gave me like $530. I thought was fair. I knew I'd only get 50-60%. And when you trade in at Guitar Center, they give you 10% off what you're trading for. So that took the price of the Les Paul down to $584. So I got that essentially, that Les Paul, for $50. $50. And it's great. YouTube it. YouTube the Epiphone Les Paul standard 50s model. It's a great guitar. It's an absolutely great guitar. But, all right. So anyway, back to motorcycle shit, kind of. I think that the whole theme of this video is going to be how guitars and motorcycles kind of go together. But we're heading down to River's Edge. I invited a bunch of people. Everybody's doing other things or they're not responding. The wife and the grandson are going to come down. So we'll see you down there.
What started off as sending out individual invites ended up being pretty much everybody. So appetizers, beers, down next to the water. I'm not talking a whole bunch, but it's okay. Shelly dropped her bike, which you guys saw earlier, and I can't wait to put that on. Hey, they're playing Skinner, Kyle's favorite band.
Oh, it's goddamn Leonard Nimoy?
Alright, welcome back. I did not film any more at the bars yesterday. We were at River's Edge, which you saw a piece of. They ended up over at Brandon Harley. They have a bar like attached to it. I think most Harley dealerships do. Then I'm back over to the Shame, yada yada, went for tacos, whatever. Now it's early Monday morning at 7 o'clock. I still need to get my shower, but I wanted to continue that guitar conversation. So today at lunch, I just got this Les Paul. I'm going to show you. I fucking love it. Just got this Les Paul. Like, it literally came in Saturday. I'm going to take it today and get a setup done, so I'm going to be without it for a few days, and then my heart already hurts for it because I'm in love with this thing. I'm also going to buy a Les Paul case while I'm up there today. Because right now, if you've ever gotten guitars, you know that they come in these triangle boxes for shipping, of course. There she is, and man, it's nice. I know some of you guys out there have Gibson money. I don't have Gibson money, but this thing is, gosh, it feels so good in my hands. And then I bought this Boss Katana amp, and it's a Mark II, and it's got a couple of like it's 100 watt, but you can set it to 50 watt or half a watt. All these little effects. I think I found what I like playing on most. You got a few channels. You got this brown, lead, crunch, clean, whatever, acoustic. I like the lead channel quite a bit. I'm going to mess with that more over the next whenever. I also bought the foot switch. I can't believe that these amps don't come with foot switches. Feet switch? No, the switch is plural, not the foot. Anyway, but thankfully I had reward points on my Amazon card, and my dad sent me an Amazon card, so I really didn't pay much for it out of my own pocket necessarily. But yeah, I'm not that great at guitar. I am gonna try to do a little lick or two here for you, but I'm not that great. Then later on in the video, I'll show you my Martin that I got a month ago. But yeah, let's take a listen. Again, having a nicer guitar does not make me a better guitar player. I still suck. I just look better when I suck. Anyway, that's just, I'm happy I was able to showcase my mediocre guitar skills that I'm working on. So, yeah, a little later on, we're going to go to the Guitar Center, get this thing set up. We're not going to be on the motorcycle. Precious cargo, talking about me. Anyway, take this in, get it set up, and then we'll close the video out later with some stuff on the Martin. So yeah, we'll see you down there.
Okay, just thought I would share that like every other Mike Branch video, we have just stopped at the vape store and we're leaving. I got the Les Paul in the back. I'm on my lunch break on Monday. Today is June 6th, I think. It's a balmy 91 degrees outside according to my car, which is generally off. And so for any of you guys out there, since I've been posting a lot of the music stuff, I've had some votes put out there on my Instagram stories. I have less followers on Instagram than I do here, so maybe I'm not reaching everybody. Maybe I should put more on there. Maybe I should talk to my Patreon more. By the way, there's a link in the description below if you want to join a Patreon to help support the channel. I'd really appreciate it. No pressure, no expectations. If you'd like to support it, it's there. If not, no worries. But after posting a lot of that stuff on Instagram, I get some feedback from lots of people in the community that you also, play guitars, or hell, one of the guys that I interact with all the time, Shaker, even joined me on an Instagram live stream one night, and we played some music together. So he had his soprano sax, I believe. But how do you feel about going to places like Guitar Center for a setup? Is that something you think is like a big? So is that like going to Walmart to get designer clothes? I mean, you tell me how you feel about it. I didn't used to get setups done. God, I feel like I'm talking about setups a lot, but I think they're important to do. I didn't really get setups done until, gosh, just a few years ago, and I didn't even consider it until I played banjo. And on my banjo, you have specific luthiers that know what they're doing on those instruments that you take them to. And after that, I'm like, well, if the banjo sounds this much better after getting set up, I wonder what a guitar would sound like. And sure enough, I took two of my guitars down to get setups, and I'm like, holy shit, this is like night and day difference. And they were at Guitar Center. So I feel like they do hire, qualified people to do that, even if it's a big box store. So now I haven't ever had a guitar worked on at a non-Guitar Center or big box store. So I don't know what the difference would be, but I'm just curious your thoughts. Let me know below. Anyway, we're almost to... This is the exit to Hillsborough Avenue. We're almost to Guitar Center, where I'm first going to go in and buy a hard shell case, because I don't like the cardboard box that this thing came in. I'm like really nervous about it, especially since the headstock on the Les Paul is angled backwards. I really don't want that without some sort of specific case for a Les Paul. So we're gonna go in there, buy the case, drop it off to get service, and then we'll see you later.
All right, welcome back, boys and girls. Once again, we got the old lady with us. You're on a date night. I've been sick all week, and I know this video has kind of been all over the place. We were at the bar, we went to the music store, played a little bit of guitar, but I have been sick all week. I was actually out of work on Wednesday and Friday this week. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen all that. I wasn't as active there this week as I normally am. Just hadn't really felt like it, but is what it is. But being sick isn't going to stop me from taking my beautiful bride out upon the town, paint the town red. I said, you know what? I said, I'm not really feeling all that well. I think I want to stay in. She looked at me, grabbed the knife out of the drawer, and said, look here, motherfucker. You're going to take me out and show me a good time, I'll cut you.
Sounds exactly like something I'd say.
It's because it's what you said. No, I took a little Dayquil earlier. I wasn't feeling all that great this morning. I did go over and help Kyle and Alex move some things around for some folks. I don't think you know them, but we went out there and helped them out. I really felt like dog shit, though. And so I only helped them load the truck. I didn't help them unload. I didn't help them move a whole lot. And I came back home, kind of chilled out on the couch for a while. But I took some Dayquil about 2 hours ago. This is like really engaging content. And I feel okay. I mean, we're going to go out and have dinner and probably some beers. You know how we do it. But I think the whole idea is being able to do something just the two of us. She's been riding with me now for a couple of months, and it's been great. Like I said, I just really enjoy having her with me. But, you know, she let me know that, hey, we're always out just at the bar with your friends. It's never just us two. And so I said, you know what, you're right. Let's go next week. So our oldest son, our 15, 16-year-old son, some kid at home, whatever he is, some 16-year-old kid at home is watching Damien for us. And instead of going that way down to downtown Tampa to Ybor City, we're going this way over towards the coast. Isn't this pretty? We could have taken the freeway over to that side of the bridge and seen some of that, but I knew coming through these bougie neighborhoods with this nice trees and everything, I knew this looked weird. So I wanted to bring you guys. I'm not really all that high energy today. I mean, that's not really anything new. You guys have watched my videos before. You know I'm not really high energy anyway. But being as I am getting over whatever it is that I have, this is a week-long cold. I know I have a man cold, so you're going to hear me talk about that a lot tonight, but I don't know where I was going with that. But where was I going with that? Do you remember do you remember?
No.
You're not hanging on my every word, like waiting for me to resolve what it was.
Well, you're kind of all over the place anyway.
Always?
No.
Oh, right now? I know, I'm all
You started talking about Dayquil and that you're sick and that Memphis is at home watching Damien. And...
Oh, well, that still didn't help me out much. I did say all that. I am all over the place, and I think I was shit. Oh, I was talking about high energy, so I'm pretty low energy tonight. And I don't think that's actually what I was talking about, but we're going to make it that right now. We're going to try to go to dinner over in a town called Dunedin. And not in Dunedin, because it's always pretty busy on the weekend, but I guess they're having their Pride Festival tonight, so it's going to be really busy, but just outside of Dunedin. Anyway, a little place called Frenchie's. There's a small chain down along the coast called Frenchie's, and I like going to one in Clearwater right on the beach, but I know that since it's now 6:23, that by the time we get up there, it's going to be really fucking busy, a long wait. I mean, I guess we could drink beers out on it. What do you want to do? Do you want to stop at Dunedin, or do you want to go up to Frenchie's in Clearwater and try our luck?
Let's try Clearwater.
Oh,
Are we like way out of the way though?
All right, I guess we're going to Clearwater then. We're going to do tourist things. Hell yeah. Nobody will ever know. Yes, that'll be cool. I'll show you guys some of the coming in. And don't think I forgot. Don't think I forgot. I'm going to give you Mike's weather report. You see this nastiness behind us? That was just at our house. And,
God.
huh?
Nothing?
What'd you say?
I was going to say, I'm your wife.
Right, she was just at our house with me. No, that rain behind us in the damn sky. I'm doing Mike's weather report.
I know.
Oh. Anyway, it's been raining pretty much most of the day. And about 5 o'clock, 5:30, we're looking at the radar, and it's like, well, if we wait till 6, we'll miss it. WMBR, 1976.5 on your FM dial. Anyway, we're going to get on down the road. I want to show you some of the coast instead of just using up all my talk time right here. Talk time. Remember that on cell phones? Anyway, we'll see you down there. We thought it was going to be busy in Dunedin, which is why I initially was going to plan to go there, and she told me that, and I'm like, nah. But it looks like all the rain that we've had all day kind of scared people off because there wasn't nobody around. So I'm actually hoping Clearwater's the same. Look how pretty this is. This is why it's one of the most popular beaches in the entire world. Why it's a spring break destination for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people annually. Well, there's one less person on the road. Normally on a Saturday night, when it's not been raining all day, it'll be backed up all the way from down here at the beach to this bridge, pretty much. Not being able to see that, you won't understand necessarily why the locals pretty much avoid Clearwater Beach at all costs. There's so many other nice beaches around. I personally like Fort DeSoto. That's way down south. There's no touristy anything about Fort DeSoto, really. It's just a beach. It's a state park. It might even be a national park. I'm not sure. But it's a park, and it's dead as fuck down there. So we like it. There's also Madeira Beach, and Treasure Island, and Paso Grill, St. Pete Beach, Bradenton Shores, Indian Rock. There's so many other beaches, but this is where all the commerce is. This is where everybody comes for spring break. I get it. If I was young and single and looking for love, this would definitely be all the wrong places. Would you look at this? You move down here, and even though you avoid Clearwater a lot because it's just too busy, this is fucking gorgeous, man. This is the stuff that goes on postcards or YouTube videos in my case. All right, moment of truth. Are we going to have parking?
Yikes.
It depends on if people were scared of the rain or not.
Back to that parking garage.
That's where I'm going.
I was going to tell you to turn there when we were by that Walgreens, but...
Yep. Okay, no parking. I should have known. I should have just not even tried. It's a gamble. Man,
I feel like...
Go ahead.
Oh, I feel like right there, it's like you're not going to get parking anyway, because it's not just the restaurants, but it's the people walking up and down, going to the beach.
Yeah. Anyway, no parking like we thought. So I'm going to the parking garage, and yeah, we'll see you over there.
Well, it's the next day, Sunday. I failed to take this camera in with me to the restaurant, and I don't like using my phone because the sound is just not quite where I want it with all the directions coming in. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this one up by doing something that I've never done before, which is not uncommon for the channel. As my buddy Kyle said yesterday, oh, working on your own motorcycles wasn't enough, you have to work on your own guitars now too. Yep. So here's my Les Paul, and you guys went with me the other day to take it to get it set up, and then I changed my mind because I paid $96 after tax for my old guitar. This was going to be $96. My new Martin was going to be $96. If I took my son's bass guitar, $96. Then you're having to do it again in a year. So I bought tools, and we're going to do it myself. So there are plenty of instructional videos. I do have my PhD from YouTube University, so we're going to do it myself. Let's do it. All right, time to take these strings off. I don't know what really makes me want to do things that I have no business doing, except for the simple fact of wanting to learn, right? I don't want to drag this curly end through down there, so I'm going to cut it. These are really thick strings, and as I'm learning to bend strings more, I know I've been playing guitar for 30 years. You'd think I'd be familiar with that, but I'm really not. I was having a conversation with a friend that you can play for a long time but not know what you're doing, and that's true because I haven't really practiced things that are out of my comfort zone. So now we're doing these things before I get too old to have any kind of coordination. So we're gonna put these 8s on. I have a feeling these are 11s. I also just noticed that there's a protective film on these pickups. I'm sure that interferes a little bit with how well the pickups do. One thing I didn't get that I probably should have was polish and stuff for this, but the guitar is brand new, so maybe it doesn't need it. Then again, there's some imperfections from the factory here. I have no doubt that there's going to be some fret buzz on this thing once I get it all done. I don't know how to work on frets. I don't know how to do any of this, but I don't want to do anything with frets just yet. So we're going to roll the dice and hope that it's not too bad, you know what I mean? I bought these tools from Music Nomad. There's some gauges, some wrenches, blah, blah, blah. I didn't buy their files, though. I bought these Hosco files. All right, let's see what... I'm pretty sure this is going to be a... Yeah, it's a 12-inch radius, boys. Okay, so this is my first time working with 8s. Ever, and my first time working with electric guitar strings in many years. I severely underestimated how flimsy they would be. I should have known. That's why I bought them. But so my wraps around the machine head posts are wildly uneven. I've got some with, 3 coils like I really want. I've got some with 2 coils. I've got some with 6 coils. They're all over the place. And this first string, the low E or the high E, I should have known better. I put it in there. I realized that it was not enough winds around the post, and I adjusted it. So what that did was expose the brittle, fragile part that I already bent, and yep, it's screwed. So it broke. I'm already at a stopping point. So we'll have to do this later. Anyway, I think that's gonna do it for this video, but I think you get the idea. I'm gonna finish getting this set up. I also bought it looks like a roller skate, but what it's for is to hold the saddle of an acoustic guitar, kind of like in a vise, and you make your marks and you rub it across sandpaper while it's in that little vise thing. Wheel, I don't know what it's called. And that's supposed to allow you to adjust the saddle precisely. So we'll play with that when I play with the Martin, but I have to go get new strings for this guy. But anyway, I appreciate you coming along for this one. This is a little odd duck. I might be transitioning a little into incorporating a lot more music into what I do here. And I do have the music channel that I've not really done much with, but kind of like some of the other guys out there, this is kind of just me. You guys are going to just get me and not just motorcycles, because while motorcycles are a dominant force in my life, it's not everything. So anyway, thanks for coming along, and until next time, we'll see you later.